Hi, and welcome to Module 3. I hope everybody has been working and at least done with the first two modules. Perhaps they're finishing up the second module and go ahead and get an early look at what's in Module 3. That's part of the benefit of this being open for, going ahead and opening one module in advance. Now, I want you to note that all the previous modules were 1 week in length. This module will be 2 weeks in length. And so instead of being just a single week, you'll have 2 weeks. That may be a blessing for some of you. You may think that's great. Some of you may also think that's a little bit, may also have a negative side to that, being that, you go, oh, I got 2 weeks to do it. You procrastinate. You don't do anything the first week. And then next thing you know, you're facing a bit of a deadline because the fact is you didn't get everything done. So my encouragement would be is, realize that I am giving you 2 weeks because there is 2 weeks worth of material, and don't just procrastinate. Try to keep up and do it, and spend that whole 2 weeks working. If you get it done early, that's great. If you don't, that's fine as well. Now, with that said, I think the first module was a week, and that one wasn't too long. Second one had a little bit more information. This one will have enough more information. I think 2 weeks is justified, and that's all I was going to say. It was just, there is a reason why I'm giving you that extra time. This module will be looking at the issue of sort of judging whether or not something is an argument, and basically classifying everything is a way of organizing and figuring out what kind of argument we're dealing with. The first thing is it says, everything isn't necessarily an argument. Some things are arguments, some things aren't. For example, if somebody's just making an explanation or somebody is describing something, those aren't arguments. It's only an argument if they're actually arguing for something. If they're actually trying to make a point and then give reasons in support of that point. And so the first thing they do is we try to figure out what's an argument, what's not an argument. But then we get into this issue of the type of argument. We have a difference between deductive and inductive. Deductive deals with arguments that claim to be stating their conclusion with certainty, with necessity, and inductive arguments are ones in which they're stating their conclusion with great probability or possibility, but they're not necessarily making as definitive of a claim. So then we can distinguish between a deductive and an inductive argument. We then move on to judging what we call the inferential claim. The inferential claim is basically the solidity of the actual reasoning. This does nothing to do with what they're saying being true or not. It's simply, are the points being constructed in a way that they would be convincing if they were true? And so with deductive arguments, we label those either valid or invalid, or with inductive, we label them as either sound or unsound. We then move on to then looking at the second claim all arguments make, which is a truth claim, and that is the claim that what they're saying is actually true. And so independent of whether or not they actually manage to make their point, we then can look at the truth or falsity of the argument. And so one of the reasons why we break these two apart is to try to sort of force some focus on the difference between reasoning and truth. That just because people say true statements doesn't make their logic make sense, but just because people make false statements doesn't mean that their logic doesn't make sense. So those are two different things. Your logic, your ability to put together thoughts in a convincing way, is different from the truth or falsity of your statements. Now, in order to have a good argument, you need both, but the idea is you can judge each independently. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. I hope you'll email me if you have any questions, and good luck as this module gets rolling. Thank you. Bye.